Nandita Pandey back again with a new episode of how weekly forecasts are going to be for this week, and the week we are talking about in this episode is a week starting from 11th of December to 17th of December 2016. And I don't want to get repetitious, but I have been talking about super moon and its after effects, especially when the moon has been so close to Mother Earth, let's say around after 2 to 3 decades, and in fact more than that. And no wonder it had to have a lot of chaotic developments all around us. I was talking about the death of a mass political leader, and that has happened here in India. Amma, our own Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Ms. Jayalalitha, has passed off to the heavenly abode, and may God give her peace. But that was kind of expected. Around this time there has been again 2-3 famous leaders who passed off around the same time. During this time there has been air crashes, there has been terrible air crashes where a football team has been affected. Then there have been tsunami-like warnings and impact also. There has been a lot of upheavals around this time, and I am not surprised because such developments do happen whenever a supermoon occurs. So it's like almost a fortnight before and a fortnight after, and also the ripple effects keep going on for almost a month's time. Since this was a big supermoon, it had to happen. There are more ripples coming in, you need to be more careful. There has been a weather upsurge and there has been a weather change. You need to again stay calm and be careful about whenever you're traveling out. Do take care of yourself. So that was all about supermoon and how it is impacting. Don't worry, it has all gone past now. The worst is over. We're moving on to better times. It's a new year coming up, almost round another fortnight, and a lot of new things to look forward to. We'll talk about it definitely. I'll go individually, sun sign by sun sign, on how the new year would impact. But right now it's about the weekly forecast for 11th of December to 17th of December. We'll start off with Aries, and let's see how Aries are going to fare in this week. And for Aries, I see a lot of celebrations happening as far as matters of heart are concerned. There are wedding celebrations, there's a lot of blessings coming in from many corners. However, you need to be very, very realistic as far as your work front is concerned. The more realistic and practical you are, the better the results would turn out to be. Similarly, when I look into your financial area, there is again a growth factor taking shape and pushing you upwards, northwards, and especially advices and guidance from youngsters and would help you out in this front. Health keeps you in a fit shape all through this week to involve in creative projects, and that will be really good for you. Family matters, again an elderly person who has a dominating personality might not agree with your viewpoint, and that could be a cause of worries all through this entire phase. But by the end of the week, I see a lot of celebrations happening, a lot of happiness coming in for you. So it's kind of a good week ahead for you. We move on to the next sign, Taurians, and let us see how Taurians are going to fare in this week. And for Taurians, I see a lot of happiness and celebrations in matters of heart. Things are going to be very smooth and as per your expectations and desires. Romance breezes in, and the whole week turns out to be quite pleasant for you. Professionally, it is a time when you need to exude a little bit of patience and a lot of diplomacy and tactfulness. If you apply these two things, chances are that your work is going to be extremely smooth and very favorable also. Financial situation is very subtle. There's nothing great happening on this front, but yet it's nothing bad either, taking shape. And the same phenomena goes for your health issues also. A fatherly figure helps you out in your family matters and endeavors in your life. In this week, travels are going to be very favorable. So if you're planning a travel, it's a very good card. Maybe you can try new destinations during this week. It will be very favorable for you. And the week ends with the good news. Maybe some news related to children also brings in a lot of happiness in your life. And now the next sign, that is Gemini. Let us see how Geminis are doing. And for Geminis, blessings are coming in again from a lot of areas, and you would especially be very particularly like in your relationship area, in your love relationship area, you become very focused and very responsible towards your relationship. You would also want to take it to the higher levels of, or maybe to the next stable level. So that's the kind of focus that I see for you. Again, professionally, you need to be wisdom wise, you need to be a lot patient, and things will work out for you also. And financially, it's just a very stalemate situation. Nothing great happening in this front as far as finances are concerned. However, guidance of a woman, especially in health matters, is going to be very favorable for you all through the week. So that's the kind of situation I see you being into. Travels are going to be favorable, good news coming in that front, but in the family area, there could be some possibilities or some stress or some problems that might certainly creep in. There are also possibilities that you might have to visit someone in the hospital in this week. And we move on to the next sun sign, that is Cancerians, and let us see how Cancerians are faring. And for Cancerians, I see a lot of adventurous roller coaster ride as far as finances are concerned. So it's going to be up, down, but by the end of it, you still would be in a favorable situation. But it's going to be a roller coaster ride, so be careful about your financial aspects. Professionally, how you are going to do? So professionally, the more communicative you are, the better your PR skills are, the better the results would be. Someone who has a financial knack helps you out in this front. And also in matters of heart, I see a little anxiety for Cancerians, because it could also be emotional anxieties because of a child or some kind of emotional setbacks that I see you undergoing. Health issues, do not be careless, otherwise there could be some, I see little stress also resulting into bone aches or muscular pains the whole week through. Family interest, there could be two interesting events or decisions that you might have to take, but you're still confused. Listening to your inner voice gives you the right course of decision and guidance for you. Looking at your travels, I would want you to travel in this week. You should avoid it at all costs. However, by the end of the week, being in the company of children, or maybe traveling to, or maybe going out, especially outings, any small outings that you have within the city, do that, especially if it is natural surrounding like a park, a children's park, please go ahead, because that's where you will find a lot of peace and happiness and success in your life. We move on to Leos, and let us see how Leos are faring in this week. And for Leos, a lot of celebrations happening all through the week, especially in matters of heart. You would want to spend good time with your friends and family this week through. There could be wedding celebrations coming up, or some kind of celebration that stabilizes your relationship area even further. So that's the kind of romantic riaja I see you undergoing in this week. Similarly, in your career front, there are a number of opportunities coming in for you. So the options are open. Keep your eyes and ears open, because the whole week through there will be something or the other that will keep coming in giving you better opportunities, and you should weigh down your measures and then indulge into it. No doubts you are going to be successful. The area of concern is finances. You need to be very careful about financial aspect, because this is one front where I see a little setback or some low down movements here. And health wise, again, minor abdominal problems might crop up, so you need to be careful about your diet patterns. Be careful about those. Children in the family help you out. There could be some good news that you might expect in the family front. However, I would not want you to undertake any travels in this week, because that's going to boomerang back at you. So avoid that. And by the end of the week, there are slow, steady changes that are happening for you. Virgos. Let's see how Virgos are going to fare in this week. And for Virgos, I would want you to maintain a balance. If you want to gain from your investments, you need to maintain your balance, and that's where things will start pushing you forward and bringing you gains. Otherwise, professionally, it's going to be a very lull period, and somebody close to you, someone you really share good emotional rapport with, might be a cause of concern in this week. Similarly, in matters of heart also, I see some troubles or some kind of ripples that are certainly bubbling up and causing you stress and tensions. You need to avoid clinging back to the past. Be futuristic. If you look forward in life, things will definitely work for you. Health-wise, how are you going to do? Again, as I said, emotional anxieties needs to be, you need to just let go of. Just take it away from your system and you'll be way, way better off than what you have been earlier. And in family terms, there are rifts that are happening with somebody close in the family. Again, there could be property issues or issues related with children that might suddenly crop up in this week. Similarly, travels, however, I see growth there. Somebody would suddenly come up and help you out in this front. How does the week end for you? So if you're focused in your life, the week also becomes beautiful in your life. And we move on to the next sun sign, that's Libra, and let us see what are the projections for Libra. Librans, I see a lot of opportunities knocking your door in matters of heart. So things are going to be beautiful and romantic and pleasant all through this week as far as your love relationship is concerned. However, the areas that you need to be careful upon is your career front and your financial front. So these two areas have to be really monitored well. So you need to focus because sudden expenses might happen, and especially if you're restless and egoistic, then the money just goes off. So be careful. Similarly, in the professional front, the way you want changes to happen, they're not happening in this week. So you need to maintain your cool and calm and then focus on the things, then only things will change for good. So that's the kind of projection I see. Muscular pains are there, bone aches could be possibility. There's some gastric problems also. Do a little pranayam or exercises. That's a kind of guidance that is coming in here for you in this week. Your family supports you a lot, and all through this week there are possibilities of some religious activities taking place in your family. There are also possibilities of you actually wanting to spend quiet and quality time with them. So that's the kind of situation I see you undergoing. Travels I would not recommend in this week, and by the end of the week also there is a phase when you might feel that you're not being given enough importance by others in life. So that's the kind of temperament that I see you going through by the end of the week. Next sun sign is Scorpios, and let us see how Scorpions are faring in this week. For Scorpions, I would want you to be more realistic in your financial aspect, because there would be possibilities that you might think something else and the reality would be something very different from what you're expecting. So there is a certain balance that needs to be maintained, and don't indulge into any investments suddenly like this. So to just be a little calm and monitor investments carefully. So that's the key point in this week for you. And then similarly for Scorpios, again there is a Fool card which is coming up, which is talking about ups and downs in your life professionally, and especially if you are careless in your work projects, you might get hurt. So you need to be more focused, and the more focused you are, the better the results would turn out to be. And emotionally, in matters of heart, this is going to be a tough period for you, and there could be some issues related to children, or it could also mean some news that might hurt your emotional temperament level. So that's a kind of phase that I see you undergoing the whole week through. And health-wise, you're going to do fine. There are good changes happening, but in family matters, you need to be very firm. If you think certain things are meant to be done, so stick to them and do that. Irrespective of if people are threatening you by living by your side and not really helping you out in this, don't worry about it. Stick on to your beliefs and act upon it. Things will work out for you. So that's the kind of projection I see you undergoing. Travels will be extremely favorable, and by the end of the week, if you work with a little bit of tact, things are going to be more beneficial and better in life, more harmonious rather. And we move on again to the sign of this week, that is Sagittarians, and let me see how Sagittarians are going to fare. For Sagittarians, a lot of family support is coming in. Even homebound journeys would be quite favorable. You might meet interesting people while meeting your family members or extended family members. So this is a good time to socialize with your extended family. Similarly, in your investments, the focus is going to be very family oriented. So your whole interest and your focus is the well-being of your family the whole week through. Professionally, not a very great time frame to expect growth, but they're not a bad time frame either. It's a plus average indication that I foresee for you. Matters of heart, there are a lot of insecurities that are seeping in your life. And especially the belief system is shaking up. So you don't need to shake that up. You need to be a little more patient all through and bless your love mate, and things will start working out smoothly in your life. In your health area also, there would be phases when you would feel that things are just slipping out of your hand, or you're unable to control your health matters, and this could reflect adversely in your entire physical persona. So you need to be careful on that area. Travels are just very, very mediocre, and by the end of the week again, I see you being in emotional and communication deadlocks. Be more flexible and more open in your communications, and see how your problems will just wean off from your life. So that's the guidance for you, Sagittarians, to follow them. We move on to the next sun sign, and that is Capricorns. And let us see how Capricorns are going to fare in this week. For Capricorns, I see a lot of opportunities knocking your door as far as your work front is concerned. Good growth period, good frame coming in, lot of options opening up. But in financial front, it's just a very, very average week for you. Matters of heart, you need to be more communicative, more flexible in your approach. Then only things will streamline, and subtle romance will start seeping in. Health keeps you in a good shape all through this week. Somebody in the family supports you in your endeavors, especially someone who has good financial lack and is also a glib talker. So that kind of a man is who's there in the family or extended family or in your friend circle is the one who's going to help you out in this week. Helping out in all the endeavors, all the aspects of your life. Travels only indicate an average success, wherein by the end of the week there are growth and success and happiness seeping in. A fatherly figure helps you out in your endeavors. And we move on to the next sign, that is Aquarius, and let us see how Aquarians are going to fare. So for Aquarians, a lot of growth opportunities knocking in as far as financial aspects are concerned. Make new investments in this week, because any investment that you make will stand the test of the time in the longer run. So that's the kind of guidance coming in for you. Professionally, there are very, very subtle changes happening right now. Health gives you a boost, and there are a lot of changes happening in your health front, positive changes happening in your health front. The cards guide you to move out and maybe do a little walk, brisk walk, so some outdoor activity that might help you again regain and rejuvenate your mind, body and soul levels. In matters of heart, however, you feel very restless all through this week, and there is a little bit of irritation seeping in during this period. A fatherly figure, again, someone who's reached a position of strength due to his sheer work might be a cause of concern in your family endeavors. Travels, I look at it, should be very, very happy, new beginnings, success in your travel ventures. But by the end of the week, although everything is going on fine and smooth for you, yet there is a little bit of sadness that seeps in your heart. So you need to let go of that sadness also. We move on to the last sign, but not the least sign, Pisceans, and let us see how Pisceans are doing in this week. For Pisceans, I see a lot of major positive changes taking shape all through this week. The emotional contentment happening, especially in your investments. So the investments are going to turn the way you would want them to. Similarly, simultaneously, I also foresee if any investments are done on creative projects, they will also be very, very favorable. Professionally, someone is going to help you out suddenly. I know someone just come up from nowhere and would help you out in this front. In matters of heart also, there are a possibility of liking two people at the same time. For singletons, that's going to be quite a great chaos in your life. You need to listen to your inner soul and the inner voice. That's where the right guidance would come in, and that's the right path to follow for you. Two decisions in matters of heart can be very, very tough to take. So that's the projection. Health, you have to monitor, because an extra effort I see has to be put in to improve upon your health area. Your family issues can be a little troublesome all through this week. There are possibilities of legal cases or court cases or some kind of injustice being done to you. So that's the kind of feeling that I see you undergoing during this period. Travels are best avoided. I wouldn't recommend any travel in this phase of your life. And similarly, there could be some chaos, especially due to a youngster while traveling. So avoid that. The week ends on a very favorable note. You'll be emotionally very, very happy as the week comes to its end. So this was for all the 12 sun signs that we had spoken, and sun signs are based on your date of birth. We do also answer your personal queries. So if you have any personal queries, you can email me at my email ID. My email ID is soch.345@gmail.com. I'll repeat it again, soch.345@gmail.com. It's also written down, it's flashing down here, soch.345@gmail.com. Do ping me here and write your queries here. I do love to answer your queries, but they of course are based on energy exchange. And if you like my video, do subscribe. Again, there is a subscription box down here, and you can just log on through your emails and push that subscribe button. So anytime I'm coming up with a weekly forecast or any other YouTube video, primarily I do a lot of videos on celestial events also, so you would straight away be intimated about it. So that's about the whole week, and the query section, please do that. And if you like the videos, do also write down your comments here. I do read them and I do respond to them and love to read them. I do hope and pray that your week turns out to be extremely beautiful. There's a holiday season starting up soon. Christmas is around the corner, New Year is around the corner, more resolutions to be made. We'll talk about all those and much more, because Mercury is about to go retrograde, and a lot of, again, planetary movements and shifts are about to take place in January. And coming months, we'll talk about those also. Stay connected, stay blessed. Aatma Namaste.